Breaking news this morning, the Northern Territory Government's formally referred the Darwin Shiplift project to the Public Accounts Committee for investigation, citing escalating costs and delays. The Treasurer, Bill Yan, made the announcement this morning, stating that it was time for Territorians to get answers on this project. Now, if you recall, it was originally announced by the former CLP government as a $100 million project. That cost blew out to $400 million in 2019. And again to $515 million in 2022. The project, though, is now facing significant additional forecasted costs in the order of hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, joining me in the studio is the Chief Minister, Finocchiaro. Good morning to you, Chief Minister.
Good morning, Katie, and to your listeners.
Now, the Darwin Shiplift, originally scheduled for completion by the end of last year, was meant to be a nation-building project that would have anchored our defence, maritime and manufacturing industries. Does your government still believe it's going to do that, or do you believe it's going to do that?
Yeah, look, we're really very supportive of the Shiplift project. We lament, like every other territory, and that it isn't already operational, and this should have happened years and years ago, and it should have happened for a fraction of the price of what we're looking at now. And that requires investigation. This is taxpayers' money at the end of the day, and some of it is NAIF funding, which is a Commonwealth loan, obviously, which still means we have to pay it back. There's no money tree that we've found to date yet, Katie. If your listeners have one, let us know. But it's a really serious project. We need it to anchor our strategic defence importance in maritime industries, but it can't come with a blank cheque.
So when is it going to be complete?
Look, I'm not aware of that. I think there's still plenty.
But it's not near completion.
Oh, absolutely not. Gosh, no. It's there's plenty of work happening out there, but it's not even close to being complete. It'll be a number of years more, I suspect. And it's gone from 100 million to 515 million. Our understanding is that there could be hundreds more millions to go. So it requires a look, and the Public Accounts Committee is specifically designed for that purpose, to review the public account, i.e. your taxpayers' dollars being spent by government.
So what is the aim? What is the aim of referring it now? Is it to work out exactly how much it's going to cost, when it's going to be finished? And if that is the aim, why can't the department or whoever's actually delivering this project tell you all those things already?
Well, the beauty of the Public Accounts Committee is they can have public hearings, they can call people as witnesses, they can really get a broad scope of information, and it's also public, and that's really important to have the transparency component around it. So we really need to see where Labor went wrong. We don't want to be making those same mistakes in our government. And also then, foreseeably how much more is this project going to cost and why? Because at the end of the day, it's a huge amount of money to the Territory when we're already suffering under catastrophic levels of debt.
So can I just get this straight? At the moment, it's going to cost it was in 2022, $515 million is what it had blown out to. But then the project's also backed by this $300 million concessional loan from the NAIF. Is that on top of the 515, or is that all together?
No, that's within it. So some of it is just, direct money from the Northern Territory Government. Some of it is NAIF money, which we're using, which we'll have to pay back. So it's all money that comes out of tax dollars, Katie. So yes, it is a worthy project, but how we got from 100 to in excess of 500 is a question worth asking, and we need Territorians to understand it, because it's a huge amount of their money that can't go into other things. And at the moment we've got plenty of things we could spend money on and we can't, and this is part of that reason.
Do we actually have as well, like anchor tenants? Do we have a situation here where defence is locked in, for example, to use that Shiplift? Or are we still then going to build this thing and we're unsure whether we've got the need for it or whether it's going to be utilised?
I don't think anything's been locked in. I believe it was a bit of a build it and they will come, which, isn't always a bad thing. But, at the end of the day, we know we can strategically position ourselves here to be particularly having defence as the main proponent to use that facility. But we've got to build it to be able to get to that point, right? And we've been talking about it for 10 years. It's exhausting. It's a bit like the art gallery in Alice Springs. It becomes a bit of an urban myth at some point.
It gets to a point where people start to think that it's never going to happen. And the demand or the need for it you feel as though then that diminishes. I know that in North Queensland, I thought they were building a shiplift facility there as well. I'd be interested to know whether theirs is actually complete or where theirs is at and why ours has taken the period of time that it has.
Exactly. And that's all the type of things that the PAC can look at, because you're right. It's about putting, there's competitive advantages, and what disappoints me the most out of all of this is the opportunity cost. Had we had a shiplift 5 years ago, where would we be right now? And I know we can't look back, and I know we shouldn't live in the past, but opportunity cost is a real cost to the community. And that's why this investigation is important, because we don't want to make those same mistakes moving forward. Rebuilding our economy is a huge part of our plan to, get the territory back on track. And so we've got to be making really good decisions and managing projects really well for value for territory.